Wondering what the Financial Reporting FR paper is all about? Not sure how the exam is structured or which areas to focus on? If topics like IFRS standards, financial statements, and consolidated accounts seem overwhelming, you're not alone. In this video, we'll break down the FR paper, its syllabus, exam format, and share practical tips to help you prepare effectively and boost your chances of passing. Let's get started.
The aim of the applied skills level overall is to build on existing knowledge and understanding and to develop strong, broad and practical finance skills required of future strategic professional accountants in any sector or industry. So it's a very broad range of papers at this level. It covers law, performance management, which is essentially management accounting, taxation, and then financial reporting and audit and assurance, and then finance, so financial management. So it's a good grounding for the qualification and work of an accountant.
How financial reporting fits into your ACCA journey. Financial reporting, FR, sits at the core of the financial knowledge in the ACCA qualification. It builds on the foundation set in the FA, Financial Accounting paper, and Corporate and Business Law, LW, giving you the skills to prepare and interpret financial statements following international accounting standards. Mastering FR is essential because it directly fits into two strategic professional papers: SBR, Strategic Business Reporting, where you deepen your understanding of financial reporting at an advanced level. So basically, we can say that SBR is kind of like an advanced paper of FR. And our tutor, Leah, is going to explain that in a moment. And also, FR fits into AA, so Audit and Assurance paper, where in this paper you need to use your FR knowledge to any auditing procedures, internal controls, etc. We can also say that FR supports the broader knowledge needed for the SBL paper, so Strategic Business Leader, making it a vital stepping stone in your ACCA journey.
Financial reporting exam is an exam about reporting standards. At this very stage, you will not have to learn everything. So, for example, you have simplified version of IFRS 16. It's not like you have any different IFRS 16 lease standard. It's just that you are not tested in such a detail as you will be tested in strategic business reporting. The same goes for financial instruments. But it is a hard exam because standards are tricky, and quite often we think that this is pretty straightforward. But no, there are exceptions. There are little things that we might miss because we cannot know whatever we do not know. Now, this exam will ask you to understand how the accounting is made. Not in detail. So no, it's not about the book of prime entry, sales ledger, and all that stuff. Oh, just forget it, because nobody actually uses that because we have systems, right? You just open the screen and put the entry there. And even more, at this very stage, most likely that you are not expected to be engaged in just posting the transaction, but you will be engaged in harder operations, like how to calculate goodwill, how to consolidate financial statements. So in this very exam, we are going to learn what to add and what to not add in accounts when we are going to recognize them. So for example, what payments can be included in the cost of equipment, what to do with the accounts for the year. So for example, how to depreciate, how to impair them, and what should be at the year end. So for example, how do we revalue to the fair value? In this exam, we are going to look at how to consolidate financial statements. So if we have a parent and the companies that this very company owns, how to record them all together to show the whole wealth of this parent. We are going to look at how to analyze the report so that when you open the report, let's say of Manchester, you will be able to decipher what is there and brag about your knowledge during some social events. It will be fun. And that is what we are going to do. The syllabus is huge. That is true. But still, we have to do that because after financial reporting, we have strategic business reporting. And yes, I do understand that the knowledge tends to evaporate, but the more we understand now, the easier it will be for us in future.
The ACCA Financial Reporting syllabus is divided into 5 key areas, covering everything from conceptual framework to the preparation and interpretation of financial statements. So, let's break it down. Part A: Conceptual and Regulatory Framework. This section sets the foundation for financial reporting. You will explore the principles behind IFRS and the objectives of financial reporting and what makes financial information useful. You'll also cover the regulatory environment, including the role of IFRS and standard setting bodies. Part B: Accounting for Transactions. This is where you learn how to account for different types of transactions. It covers non-current assets, such as property, plant and equipment, impairments, provisions, leases, and revenue recognition. You'll deal with foreign exchange transactions, financial instruments, and taxation in financial reporting. Part C: Preparation and Presentation of Financial Statements. This section focuses on applying IFRS to prepare financial statements for single entities and groups. You learn how to consolidate financial statements, including subsidiaries and associates, ensuring financial reports reflect a true and fair view. Part D: Analysis and Interpretation of Financial Statements. Understanding financial reports is just as important as preparing them. This section teaches you how to analyze and interpret financial statements using ratio analysis and key performance indicators. You'll also explore the impact of sustainability reporting and non-financial disclosures. Part E: Employability and Technology Skills. The final section ensures you can apply financial reporting skills in a computer-based environment, so just like this computer-based exam. You work with spreadsheet tools, financial models, and digital reporting techniques, skills essential for today's finance professionals. These 5 areas form the foundation of the FR exam. Mastering them will not only help you pass, but also prepare for the more advanced topics in the Strategic Business Reporting, SBR paper.
Let's have a look at how the exam looks like. We are going to have Section A, and in Section A we are going to have 15 test questions, and these questions are not going to be connected one to each other. Then we are going to have Section B. In there we are going to have 3 scenarios, and each scenario is going to have 5 test questions. And finally, Question C is going to have 2 questions, 20 marks each, and that will be a question that most likely will ask you to make consolidation and also make some discussion.
Managing your time effectively in the ACCA Financial Reporting exam is key to success. With 3 hours to complete the paper, here's how to approach it efficiently. Section A is worth 30 marks. It covers objective test questions, so 15 individual, mostly multiple choice questions, each worth 2 marks. Aim to complete this section in around 30 minutes to stay on track. Section B, that is also worth 30 marks. However, here you have case-based objective test questions. Basically, you have 3 case study test scenarios, and each scenario includes 5 objective test questions. Each scenario is worth 10 marks. These questions are more detailed, so do allocate 30-35 minutes for this section. And then finally, we have Section C, that is worth 40 marks and includes 2 constructive response questions. There are 2 long-form written questions, where you have either word-based questions or spreadsheet-based questions. These require calculations and explanations, so spend at least 36 to 40 minutes per question to structure and present your answer properly. Now, key time management tips. Stick to time limits. If you're struggling with a question, move on and come back if time allows. Plan before you write. Take a moment to outline your answer and avoid missing key points. Be concise and structured. Avoid unnecessary explanations and focus on answering the requirement. Practice under exam conditions. Time mocks will help you improve your speed and accuracy. And here at Practices Academy, we have developed our own practice platform where you can practice that under actual exam conditions. Time management is just as important as knowing the content. If you can stick to these time management allocations and maintain focus, you'll be in a strong position to pass the FR exam.
Studying for this exam. First of all, make sure you book the exam at the start of your study period, and then you know what you're aiming for. You can see how much time you've got to divide up between now and when you're actually going to sit that exam. Make sure when you're practicing questions, wherever you can, you're practicing in the real exam software. The Practice Test Academy software is very close, or the ACCA software itself you could use. Make sure you always do questions to time. It's a bad habit to get into, to give yourself ages and ages and ages to do every single question, because you won't have the luxury of time in the real exam. As we said earlier, that section C is a blind spot for many, especially the words in section C, so make sure you give time to those, and that will put you ahead of the field. Cover the whole syllabus, even the hard bits. In fact, focus on the bits that you can't do when you're studying. It's tempting to stick to the bits you feel comfortable with, but the exam is designed to try and cover the whole syllabus, so you'll be preparing yourself best in working through the whole syllabus. Make sure that you learn mainly through question practice. Sitting and learning a file is a very passive way to try and learn. It's very hard for it to cram it into your head that way. It's often for people much more effective to have a go at questions once they've studied, have a go at questions, and then if there's any questions they can't do, then flick back into the notes to help you. And that's a much more proactive way of learning. It should stick in your head better. Focus on what you can't do in your study time, and then focus on what you can do on the day. And keep track of the questions you've done. So when you have a go at questions, try to keep the answers away from the questions themselves so that you can use those questions again later on down the line. I always used to keep track of the questions I got wrong in particular, and then after a bit of time had gone by, I'd have another go at them just to make sure I could now do them. So when you're studying, keep a diary and write what you're going to do every single day in those study sessions. And commit that. Put yourself first in this process and commit to those study sessions. Don't let other people and other things take them away. I'm not saying here you need to study every single day. You might well put a break day in your diary. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But stick to the dates that you've put in your diary. Give yourself regular breaks when you're studying. Every sort of 10-15 minutes or so, just look away from the screen for perhaps a minute and relax your shoulders and so on. Every hour, make sure you take a good 10 or 15 minute break. To be honest, even if you don't feel like you need it, take that break, walk around, have a stretch, have a drink, and that will keep the energy levels up for a much longer period of time. Try and keep your study sessions output based. Now, what I mean by that is that when you're saying, I'm going to study now, rather than saying, I'm going to study for 2 hours, say I'm going to do these questions, and when these questions are done satisfactorily, then I'm finished. And that motivates you to get down and start working hard. If you give yourself a time limit, there's every incentive to slow down and waste time in those kinds of sessions. So give yourself output-based targets. The other benefit of those is that if you plan your work in that way, you're guaranteed to get through the work you need to get through by the time you get to the exam. And make sure you keep practicing as much as you can in the real computer-based exam environment.
If the ACCA Financial Reporting exam feels overwhelming, don't worry, we are here to help. Our comprehensive courses and practice resources are designed to make your preparation as smooth and effective as possible. If you preferred structured learning, we offer 2 options. The Master Course, priced at £159, provides in-depth video lectures a detailed question bank, and 4 mock exams to help you master FR with confidence. The Ultimate course, priced at $249, takes it further, including 6 mock exams, that means 2 additional ones, official BPP ebooks, and personalized marking services for 3 mocks, so you get expert feedback on your performance. If you're on a budget and don't need video lectures, you can opt for our practice kit, filled with exam-style questions written by our tutors, or select standalone mocks to sharpen your skills under exam conditions. Whatever your study style or budget, we have the right resources to help you succeed in FR and pass with confidence.